Major updates regarding speculation and the digital currency group. Binance continues to face all kinds of FUD. We are separating the facts from the fiction. And other than Binance, there is another major exchange that has been flagged. It could be in trouble. Plus major legal updates on the status of Sam Bankman-Fried. We're also looking at Polygon, Chainlink, and Solana. This is your Altcoin Buzz news. Happy Monday. Welcome to the channel. My name is Maddie. This is Altcoin Buzz. Just a gentle reminder that, hopefully this video is informative to you, but it's never financial or official investment advice. Remember that. Also want to remind you guys that for a limited time, our Altcoin Buzz Access Group membership is free. And along with that comes access to our terrific market reports on the state of not only the crypto market, but the NFT space as well. And this comes from our incredible research team. You can check out these reports for free by clicking either the link in the description of this video or the one that's popping up now on screen. Guys, these are great tools. You may as well put this information to work for you. Okay, to be fair, we are going to be covering a fair amount of FUD in today's video. We're going to dissect and dispel some of that FUD, but nevertheless, we're covering it. So with that in mind, I want to start with a little bit of positivity here. If nothing else, we have this story courtesy of Cointelegraph.com. Nigeria is set to pass a bill recognizing Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. Not in and of itself a game changer, but a little bit of positivity to counterbalance some of the other stuff that we're going to be looking at. Here now is some of the negative that we're going to discuss. We're talking about the digital currency group, or the DCG, and a potential sell-off. Now, the DCG is experiencing huge liquidation, and speculation, unfortunately, is rife about the stability of the platform. The crypto market is still not out of danger. We're still kind of experiencing the ripple effects of the FTX crisis, the contagion, whatever you want to call it. So look, earlier it was reported that DCG's assets were witnessing a massive sell-off. And the transactions that were seen were related to cryptocurrencies. So assets like Filecoin, Flow, Stacks, LivePeer, Ethereum Classic, Decentraland, and some others. And meanwhile, there are still concerns about Genesis liquidation, which may cause its parent company, DCG, Digital Currency Group, to fall in danger, even potentially of bankruptcy. And look, the reality is that the crypto market continues to struggle with ongoing FUD. Whether or not that's legitimate, it's still affecting prices. And the common theme seems to be companies that are facing liquidation. Here's another article from Cointelegraph examining Bitvavo, which says it's aiming to recoup 280 million euros from DCG. If you haven't heard of Bitvavo, it's a Dutch cryptocurrency exchange, and it claims to be stuck with Digital Currency Group for 280 million. That's almost 300 million US dollars, or 17.5% of the 1.6 billion euros it claims to control in deposits and other assets. And customers, however, were reassured by Bitvavo that the event, quote, has no impact on the Bitvavo platform. Maybe not, but in a blog post, Bitvavo asserts that DCG, quote, has postponed repayments until this liquidity issue has been handled, and that DCG is, quote, experiencing liquidity challenges due to the current turmoil in the cryptocurrency market. And of course, the challenges that Genesis are currently facing have put the finances of DCG into question. So that story is ongoing. It's not yet resolved. Of course, we're going to keep a close eye on it. But in addition to that, there's ongoing FUD, unfortunately, surrounding Binance. In fact, it's sustaining all kinds of different FUD angles of attack. And everybody seems to have their opinion. Some people are saying that Binance is insolvent. Others are defending Binance. There's actually a pretty wide range of decisions here on the issue. And then there's Mr. Kevin O'Leary that has come out with probably a series of interviews as of late with pretty harsh criticism directed towards Changpeng Zhao. He had a disastrous appearance recently on CNBC. I'm going to play some of this for you.
Arguing with you on Squawk Box. You went from Charlie Munger's view on Bitcoin to Michael Saylor's view on Bitcoin. And I actually kidded you about it. I said, who are you? You may know nothing, but you're never in doubt. You're so strident when you said it was just worthless and rat poison. And then 6 months later, you're like this Bitcoin bull. So I didn't understand that conversion. Did that conversion coincide with the 15 million that you got from FTX?
You just said you made this conversion in what year?
I think it was 2018 I started investing, yeah.
Okay, well, I just for, as a point of fact, for what it's worth, May 14th, 2019, you came on television and called Bitcoin garbage.
And I guess silver lining, at least to some extent, real journalism isn't quite dead. They did hit him with some hard questions. He's very wishy-washy. I think Kevin O'Leary is an opportunist. He's not a thought leader in this space. He hates Bitcoin, but he invested early in Bitcoin, extremely wishy-washy. And if you're at all putting any weight into his sentiments, into his predictions, into what he has to say, I would personally stop doing that. He had something going, obviously, with FTX. He has some kind of personal bias towards Sam Bankman-Fried and continues to defend him. So Kevin O'Leary, not that I was ever on board with him personally, but if you are/were, probably time to stop listening to that guy. And aside from the FUD, there's actually some good news to report when it comes to Binance. They have just confirmed the acquisition of an Indonesian cryptocurrency exchange, Toko Crypto. So the naysayers can continue to sling FUD in the direction of Binance, but behind the scenes, they're continuing to build, they're continuing to expand. But even despite that, and probably somewhat surprisingly, BNB continues to slide. You may have heard that Binance's auditor has stopped working with cryptocurrency firms altogether. That has negatively impacted the price of BNB and has also, of course, contributed to the FUD. But here's the thing, the FUD against Binance seems to be just that, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, because they continue to operate and work well behind the scenes. They continue to offer proof of reserves. Unfortunately, as I hinted at, there's another exchange who doesn't seem to be as stable in terms of its footing, and to many surprise, it's actually Huobi. So Huobi has around $3 billion in reserves, 56.7 of which are clean, or so-called, or to put it another way, 43.3% of them are made up of its own exchange tokens. So that's where our attention should be right now, not on Binance, which again, according to CoinGecko data, is still the 6th largest exchange and transacts $422 million in daily activity. Huobi reserves have a very high-risk setup at the moment. And if we've learned nothing else from this exhausting FTX drama, it's that you can't prop up your own reserves with your own token. Okay, let's talk SBF news here. Sam Bankman-Fried, he is expected to reverse course on plans to fight extradition from the Bahamas. So he's set to appear in court in the Bahamas on December 19th. That is very soon as of this recording. And that's to request a reversal on the earlier decision to contest extradition. Now, he has apparently changed his mind, so Bankman-Fried would be able to testify in a U.S. court by approving extradition. Of course, he's accused of conspiring to commit securities fraud, commodities fraud, money laundering, conspiracy to defraud the United States, and violating the campaign finance laws. And he's also accused of conspiring to commit wire fraud on consumers and lenders. And Bankman-Fried faces up to 115 years in prison. That's if he's found guilty. But before he receives a verdict in the coming months or possibly in the coming years, there is, of course, a lot to sort out in this particular case. Now, according to certain reports, the prosecutors looking into SBF have contacted prominent Democrats and asked them for information on the political contributions that Bankman-Fried made. According to a New York Times story, SBF prosecutors approached Democratic members of the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee, that's the DCCC or DCCC, the Democratic National Committee, the DNC, and Congressman Hakeem Jeffries for information to support their current investigations. What can you expect? Well, SBF is going to be appearing in court again on December 19th. That's today for many of you watching. Bankman-Fried will likely be appearing in court to reverse his decisions of not getting extradited to the U.S. last Tuesday. His request for bail was denied by a Bahamian judge on the grounds of him posing a flight risk. And as far as what happens next, well, if SBF agrees to his extradition, he will be transferred to the U.S. in what may take a few weeks. He will then be appearing in a U.S. court before a U.S. judge, and his bail hearings will further be decided by them. In ongoing FUD news, we now have to ask ourselves if an Ethereum sell-off is coming. We're here on CoinGape.com, and investors are perplexed because two addresses that have been inactive for more than 4 years, they unexpectedly reactivated in order to send over 22,000, nearly 23,000 Ether to new addresses. And these ETH coins in question were discovered transferring 13,103.99 ETH and 9,878 ETH, respectively, from the trading platforms Genesis and Poloniex. PeckShield, which is a blockchain researcher, they discovered that the last transaction involving the ETH coins in question occurred in October of 2018. That's when the price of ETH was roughly between $190 and $230. On the day of the transfer, the asset price of ETH was close to $1,200. As always, we have some pretty valuable tutorials on how you may want to stake your ETH. We break down the methodology of how that process works. Check out our articles, part 1 and part 2 on altcoinbuzz.io. Let's take a small positivity break here and discuss the metaverse for a moment. Affyn has been in the news. We've been covering them recently. Click the video that's popping up now if you haven't watched it already. They just debuted their Nexus World Metaverse city, and that sold out in 2 hours and 9 minutes. If you'd like to learn more about Affyn, check out the link in the description of this video. All right, let's keep the positivity rolling. In fact, we're going to be discussing a few altcoin updates here, all of which are positive, beginning with Polygon. They just hit a major milestone. MATIC, of course, is the ticker, MATIC. So total unique addresses for Polygon have crossed 200 million. This is a really big deal. More than 300,000 users produced or traded NFTs, non-fungible tokens, on the Polygon blockchain in the previous week alone. That's according to a new tweet here, new information. And over 332,000 users either mined or exchanged NFTs in the last week on Polygon as well. So a lot of activity despite a pretty depressed market right now in terms of pricing. We've also got some positive Chainlink news here in this adoption update. This week, there were 18 integrations of 4 Chainlink services across 6 different chains, those being Arbitrum, Avalanche, BNB, Ethereum, Phantom, and Polygon. So despite the FUD, hopefully you've enjoyed this content. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment in this video if that is the case. Best of luck out there. As a reminder, check out our NFT and crypto market reports. You can find the link in the description of this video.